Hello, everyone, and welcome to our YouTube premiere on October 28th, 2021. I'm Lisa Brown, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the U.S., currently in Southwest Missouri, and exciting to be coming to you tonight here on YouTube. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much. But if you're here for the live premiere at 6 p.m. Central on October 28th, you can log into your Google account and participate in the live chat with us. I'd love to chat with you. So thank you if you're watching then or later. And this will also post on my blog where I will give the details for all of the projects that we do. And I say projects because I'm making a set of cards tonight and thinking about you and your gift giving for the upcoming holiday season and wanting to give you some ideas that you can use to make some beautiful gifts. So I have a few announcements and we're going to get started. So thank you for being here, and let me go ahead and point down to my desk and we'll get started. Okay, so first of all, for commenting on the video premiere last week, I have a little gift card holder that can be given at any time, and it's for Mary K. Harmon. Mary, if you will message me or email me at lisa@inkandinspirations.com with your mailing address, I'll get that sent to you as soon as possible. Okay, now the products I'm using tonight are not yet available to you, but they are a peek at a product that will be in the January to June mini catalog 2022. And it is called the Eden's Garden Collection. It is beautiful and focuses and highlights the evening evergreen and soft succulent colors that are in our current in colors. And it's beautiful. It can be used for any time of the year. And tonight, like I said, we're going to be making a gift set of cards that you can put together easily. Now, when can you purchase this? This will be available to all of you beginning November 2nd, 2021. That is, if you're watching this when it debuts, this video, October 28th, that's next Tuesday, November the 2nd. So let me give you a little details about the product. Here's the flyer, and it comes with this beautiful stamp set and these coordinating dies for the bundle. And that's at 10% off because it's bundled together, and you get it for $52, all right? And of course, you can always purchase these separately. And when I give you the link next Tuesday for the for these products, they'll have the separate links because I know some of you just like the stamp set and some of you just prefer getting the dies and having all the dies you can get. So I understand that. But let me tell you something very important. And, you know, with the global shipping and supply issue, you know, we face our hardships as well with Stampin' Up. So right now, these products should be available. This is a beautiful set of designer paper that coordinates with the bundle. Some cotton paper that is just beautiful. It can be used for gift wrap. It can be used for your card creations or project creations. And these garden gems are absolutely gorgeous, and I'll be showing you those tonight. But the thing about these three products is they're only available while supplies last. So in January, when this new catalog debuts, these three products will not be in there. So you want to grab those as soon as you can so that you can have it to coordinate with this beautiful bundle. Okay, and so if you're wanting all of it, it's called the Eden's Garden Collection, and you can get it for $82, and it includes everything. Now, I will be updating you as to any supply issues that we have and let you know about that. But for now, we're going to think positive in that everything is going to be available come Tuesday, November the 2nd. Okay. Now, I have my own little special I'm offering for you from November 2nd through November 10th. Okay. And that is if you purchase the bundle, which is the stamp set and the dies, for $52, or you place an order of $52 or more before shipping and tax from November 2nd to November 10th, I will send you the link to the PDF online of 12 beautiful card making projects with the Eden's Garden collection. You can either print it out or you can save a file to your computer and have that and have all these cards ideas. Now, whether or not you can use it with this collection, and you can also use the ideas with the layouts for any stamp set and die set you decide to use. Okay, so that's with a $52 purchase, or when you purchase this bundle, the Eden's Garden bundle, for $52. Okay, now if you decide to purchase the collection for $82, or place an order of $82 or more before shipping and tax of anything you'd like, you're also going to get 3 project kits from me in the mail. Okay, and it includes 2 cards that are here inside this bundle, and then a special packaging project that you could use for the set of cards that we make tonight. Okay, so let's get started. And if you have any questions about all of this, it will all be on my blog, where you can read through it and decide what you'd like to do, which option you'd like to take. Okay, so here we go. We're going to be making this set of cards that you can give as a gift. It's a set of 4 cards. It's using all of the products in that Eden's Garden collection. Plus, I decided to use a Tasteful Textiles Designers embossing folder. And look at those gems, would you? Is that not gorgeous? I love those iridescent gems. And let me get the designer paper and show you that. All right. So here's one print, and then the back side. One side has a foil on it, okay? Here's another print. This is without the foil, and then with the foil. Okay, here's the foil side print. It's got some little dots on it. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, and then an ombre look on the back. Here's this. Now you can see the foil on that. Isn't that beautiful? And then here's the back side. Here's the next pattern with that beautiful foil. And then this splatter side. I love that. And then right here. Okay. And then there is the back side of that. So the cotton paper comes in Soft Succulent and Evening Evergreen, and we'll be working with that. And you'll see that as I go along and share projects with you using the collection. It's almost like a tissue paper, but it's thicker and it's easy to craft with. Okay. All right. So let's get started. I have 4 card bases of Soft Succulent, and these are cut at 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. Okay. And then I have 2 pieces of Soft Succulent, and I cut these at 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to cut each of those in half because I'm going to use half of this textured piece on the top of the cards. Okay, and next I have the inside, which is basic white. I'm kind of fumbling over here. 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. All right, basic white. And then I have some strips of that beautiful Eden's Garden paper, and this is cut at 2 by 5 1/4. Now all of these are 4 pieces of this except for the textured pieces, and that's because I'm going to be cutting those in half in just a minute. All right, and then I have four pieces of basic white that I've already die cut with those dies. And that is cut originally, I believe I did 1 1/2 by 5. So let me show you that die. Here are the dies within the set, and I use this one for the sentiment. And so that one, those four are cut 2 by 5 1/4. And then I have 4 pieces of ribbon. I thought I had 4. Yep, here they are, 4. And those are about 16 inches, okay? And that's to tie around the card. So let me get started with this. You've got all that. You can take a screenshot of those pieces, but I will also have that available to you on my blog. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the card base and fold those in half. So since I've cut this at the 11-inch piece, let me show you in case you're new to cutting card bases. That's our full sheet of cardstock, 8 1/2 by 11. And so half of 11 is 5 1/2. So we're going to cut that right down the middle, and that forms a standard size card base. For this particular card, that's what size we're using. And so when you cut that at 5 1/2 and you fold it in half, you're folding with the way the fibers are going in the cardstock. So I'm going to just match those corners there and get a bone folder, which is good for making creases, and just give it a good crease. And there's no cracking of the cardstock because I folded it with the grain, so to speak, of the cardstock, or the way the fibers are within that sheet of cardstock. So let's go ahead and do the rest of these. The next time I create a card 4 1/4 by 11, I'll show the difference of that. That is folding against the grain, so to speak, of the cardstock fibers. And when you fold it against the grain, it will crack the cardstock. So that's why we score on those particular pieces when it's cut differently, okay? All right, so I have my 4 card bases, and I'm going to set those aside because we're going to be working with those top layers before we actually put anything down. All right, I'm going to take my 4 pieces that go on the inside, and I am going to stamp a little leaflet that's in the set right here, and I'm going to use soft succulent. And let me get some scratch paper here to protect my work surface. And I'm going to stamp in the upper corner and the lower corner. There are so many different ways that you can embellish the inside of your card. Some decide just to leave it blank like this so that you have plenty of room to write a note or a message. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to come from the corner there. You can stamp on it. You can put a strip of designer paper here or going down the side. You can do whatever you'd like. This just, to me, kind of ties in the inside of the card to what you have on the outside. And I got too enthusiastic. That's another little lesson here. If you press too hard down on a juicy ink pad, you're going to get what I call ghosting. And that it picks up ink on that outside ridge of the stamp, and then you get this, okay? But we have a back side. So I'm going to remember to tap lightly in ink. Oh, I did it again. These new ink pads are just so juicy. And if I get too energetic with my tap, 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 which is how I tell my little granddaughters, That's how I teach them to stamp. I go tap, tap, tap. So it's not bam, bam, bam. You know how that can be. Okay, did I miss one? Oh, here it is. Okay, just tap, tap, tap. Practice what you preach, honey. My granddaughters call me honey. Actually, I chose that name. They didn't come up with it. But when the daughter was going to have a baby, we were going to have our first grandchild. She goes, Mom and Dad, y'all need to think about what y'all would like to be called so we can refer to you as that. So I did. I had another friend that her grandchildren called her honey, and I thought that was so sweet. And so now, yeah, it's honey. Honey, honey. It's so cute. All right, so now I have that. So what do you say? Let's go ahead and put these inside. Now, this is a landscape style card like this. And so we're just going to put that right here like that with some liquid glue. So if you're a grandparent, do you have a special name that your grandchildren call you? I know, I chose something different because like my husband's mom was Mama, okay? My mom was Grandma. Let's see. Oh, my in-law, my daughter's mother-in-law is Nana. So I had to choose I wanted to choose something different so that when we referred to the different matriarchs, so to speak, everyone would know who we were speaking of. Okay. I'm confusing myself. I get stacked and I'm talking and y'all know how that gets. Anyway, so, and then my mom, God rest her soul, was still alive when all three of our granddaughters were born, I think. Gosh, isn't that terrible? I can't even remember. No, she wasn't. Yes, she was. Oh, that's terrible, y'all, the years. Anyway, she was great grandma then, but that was too much, too hard. So she abbreviated it to Gigi. And so that we refer to her as Gigi now when we speak of her or if the girls see pictures of her. Okay, we've got the insides done. So now what I'd like to do, and I need to cut some more basic white. So let me get some out while I'm jabbering. I'm going to go ahead and I decided to go with a basic white layer to layer up all these pieces on the outside. Okay, I just forgot to cut them, but this way you can see me cut. Okay, basic white. So I'll be able to get 4 pieces out of one sheet of cardstock. Okay, so let me bring in my trimmer. And I'm going to cut these at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So here is the 1/8 mark. There's 4. And so this little one next to it is a 16th. And then this one right there is the 1/8, 4 1/8. So that's just going to give me a tiny border all the way around. That's the scoring blade. I don't need that. Cut 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So this is 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, let me get these cut without talking so I won't mess up. 4 1/8. And I save these, well, this is not very big, but if I cut a strip off that's at least 1/4 or a 1/2 inch wide, I'll save that because those are great for stamping sentiments. Okay, 5 3/8. Again, 5 3/8. Okay, so now that I have my trimmer here, I'm going to take these. Again, I use the Tasteful Textiles 3D embossing folder on those. And I'm going to cut these at, how wide are these? 4. So I'm going to cut them at 2. Okay. So now I have a piece, 1 each for the 4 cards. Oops. Didn't start off at the top, did I? There we go. We can move the trimmer out of the way. And now we're going to build up on this top, okay? And then we'll do some more stamping here in just a minute. So I wanted this piece to go up here at the top. So I'm just giving that little bitty, that's a 1/16 inch border, okay? And then here are my 2 by 5 1/4 inch pieces of this designer paper. And those are going to be glued down here. So see how we're working on this layer before we ever put it on the top of the card. And once you start this, it would go much quicker. Of course, you know, I'm just gabbing, which takes time and sometimes causes me to make an error. But, you know, if you cut all your pieces first, like I had mine cut and ready to go, except for this basic white here, and then start assembling, it goes rather quickly. And this particular design of card is one of my favorite layouts. It's either the whole background is the designer paper, or I'll split it in half like this. And then I put something across the middle, and then the sentiment or the main image is right on one side or the other. I love that layout. Whenever I'm like stumped, think, okay, what do I do? This is what I fall back on. Not that I was stumped on this one. I knew that I wanted to do this because it makes a great set of cards with easy assembly and easy cutting. And so even, I know I die cut the pieces that I will stamp my sentiment on, but you could even just use, if you don't have the dies, you could use a strip of cardstock, okay? There's a way to make it work. Where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, so there's that. And you see, I like to, instead of making one card to its completion, I do all of them, you know, the same step as I go through the process, if that makes sense. With the liquid glue, you have a little wiggle room to move your layer around if it's not exactly straight. And I'm just butting the designer paper piece up against that cardstock piece. Okay, here's our last one. So as you're watching this, we're supposed to be having really yucky weather. So I'm so glad I do the premiere. I'm hoping I'm able to do, or I have done, my Facebook Live Thursday at noon. If you don't follow me on Facebook, you can find me Ink and Inspirations with Lisa Brown. And it's fun. I post some fun stuff over there. Okay, here we go. Now, the next part here is going to be to attach the ribbon, because you could tie ribbon around the front of the card base here and it shows on the inside, and that is fine. But this way it gets down and you put it down glued down on the card front, and it doesn't show the back of the ribbon. So let me, I'm trying to go along that line there, and I'm just going to tie a knot on this one. Again, it's just approximately 16 inches of this soft, succulent, open weave ribbon, which is one of my favorites. These in color ribbons are gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to get my ribbon scissors and go ahead and trim. All right, now let's go ahead and keep going here. See if I can speed up the process a bit. So the weather, what I started to tell you is that the fall foliage here is gorgeous this year. I'm in Southwest Missouri in the Ozarks, and we have a hillside, which is the view behind our house, behind our cabin. The colors are gorgeous. And there's a tree we have in the front yard, a maple, that's turning some beautiful colors too. Okay. I always, Jackie says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm taking a picture." And it's like I have all these pictures of foliage on my phone, and you know, every day it changes. And he says, "You're taking another picture?" And then I go through and I delete, and I want to get a really good fall foliage picture so I can post it, of the reds and the yellows and the oranges. It's really pretty. Some years, you know, it's more colorful than others, you know, where we have a gradual transition into autumn and winter. And I know it has something to do with how wet or how dry it's been that year. Does anybody know what determines some years are more colorful foliage wise than others? I knew at one time. Okay, one more. Okay, let's see. Okay, we're almost done with this. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and adhere those to the front of the card, because the next part is the die, the stamping on the die, and then let me do it a little quicker here, and then we'll put the gems, beautiful garden gems. We, as a demonstrator, you know, we get to order this a month ahead of you guys, and at first those gems, they didn't come in on the ship, or the ship was stuck somewhere, and thought, oh no, those are gorgeous, and then they came in. So I'm hoping they're there for you guys because they're really pretty. Okay. We are going to Texas next week, and going to be there for about a week. So I'm hoping to have a premiere for all of you. Not sure about my Facebook Live, but hoping to have a premiere ready for you. And is anyone still working on Christmas cards or holiday cards? I am, you know, as I go and make samples and stuff, I have plenty. I always send those. And I have a box full of cards that I've made that I need to do the coordinating envelope for. So that's on my to-do list. And I need to order my family photo that goes in my Christmas cards. Okay, so those are ready to go like that. Let's do some stamping. I already have these cut. And I don't know that there's a right or wrong way, up or down, you know, on them. But I want to show you, I'm going to do 2 of them that say, Dear Friend, and 2 of them that say, Hello There. Here's the other one. I cut them at 2 and 5 1/4 so that I could, if you're just doing one, that's what you would need. Of course, you could use like a 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 piece of card, basic white, and cut one and then, you know, go back and cut the other. So however you want to do it. All right, so now I'm using my soft succulent Stampin' Right marker. Now, let me just give a word about these. These are like the same inks that are in our ink pads. And if you want to do a partial coloring of a stamp, these are great for that. They're great for certain techniques, and they're great for travel because, I mean, I just purchased I invested in a full set in a little carrying container. If you buy them all at once, you get the little box to carry them in. Well, these are the in colors come separately. They're in a little box of 5. But now I have all the colors, and you can use them on your stamps. They're great for travel. If you travel and you want to take your crafting stuff, this is it. Okay, so now let me get my Dear Friend. You see that? How it's like Dear Friend on top? I don't want the How Are You on the front. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to use, there are 2 sides of the Stampin' Right marker. You see that thick line there versus that thin line? This is a brush tip, thicker. This is a fine point tip. I hardly ever use this side, I'll just be honest. I mean, you can write a message with it. That's what I've used it for. And then I'm going to use the side of the brush tip and brush it along just the Dear Friend. You can also mask that off with a Post-it note and stamp, but if you have the markers, it works like this. Okay, so I'm going to come down here and stamp. See there? Okay. All right, I want to do another one like that. So let me get this, line it up, and I'm going to brush over it again. Now, granted, it takes a little longer to color your stamp with these, but it's a great way to get all the colors if you don't have all the colors and you want them, and for travel. Okay, there's Dear Friend. I'm going to set that aside. And then Hello There, I could use the ink pad because I'm using the whole phrase, but I'm just going to go ahead and continue just brushing like that. Line that up on a grid sheet. And I need to line this up. You see how that looks crooked like that? That's because of how the label is on or the stamp is done. And I am hoping that I've done this right. I mounted it before, and I'm going to stamp. And you see how that's straight? Even though it looked like crooked, that's because I lined it up. And I'll show you how I do that in a minute. And go ahead and do this next one. Put that on a line, and then my block on a line. See, I want to turn it because it looks crooked to me, but it's not. Okay, so let me show you how I mount these when I'm using just my blocks. Need to clean my block. Okay, I'll line that up on a grid sheet like that, and then I'll take the stamp, and you see I see the line there, the straight line. Now, not all sentiments are straight, they're curvy, so it wouldn't work on that, but I'm lining that up. I can see the grid sheet through my paper, through my block, and I line up that hello there along one of those lines so that this is straight along with that line. Then when I turn it over, you see it looks crooked a little bit. It's not. Works, 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 works. Okay, so now we're going to put 2 of these on. I'm going to get some Stampin' Dimensionals. I think I can use the regular size. These must have come out of my paper pumpkin. So what I would do with these as well is do my envelopes, which I've already done and I'll show you in a minute, and then put them together. It's a set of 4 cards. I'm lining this up where the ribbon still shows underneath it, okay? And just pressing down. And then you could give it as a gift set. And you can package them. We have the little boxes that are the perfect size for cards and envelopes. I say 4 or 5, depending on how dimensional your cards are. And you could just do a belly band around those and give them as a gift. And we have other boxes too. And one of the boxes is if you buy the collection or $82 in product, you'll get the box that will be perfect for these cards. Hello there. Now, dear friend. So I chose these sentiments are great because they can be sent for birthday. Okay, you could send for thinking of you. Just if you want to just send a note, just say hello for the hello there. So just a good all-round card. Okay, I'm pulling that up because I don't want that little foliage piece to extend beyond. Okay. And one more. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you being here if you're watching during the premiere. And this is just a simple project, but I think it's one that was worth sharing because of the upcoming holiday season. And I think it's a great gift idea, which is what I'm going to try to be sharing things that I think that you need or will be helpful to you. Okay. All right. There we go. Now let's get the gems. Okay, look at these. Oh my goodness, they're gorgeous. And they pick up so many different colors so you can use them lots of different ways. Okay, so I put 5 on each one because I just thought, why not? So I've got one here. And then here, and then a little one. There's these what's that shape? Marquee shape, then a dot, and then a smaller one. So there, and then I'm going to do another one down here, and then one of these. And it doesn't matter. I just like to use an odd number. Okay. This is a take your pick tool, which is good for picking up gems and sequins. I never go in a straight row when I pick up my gems. It's like, it's just all over the place. Is anybody else like that? It's like, I just pick one up. Okay. Why did I not put a gem on some of these? Some of the ones I made, I looks like I left the gems off. The previous ones, anyway. Okay. Once I get going, I try to do them all the same so that I'm not thinking about it. Because this particular embellishment, any kind of time I put rhinestones or gems, I always overthink it. It's like, where do I put it? Is anybody else like that? It's like, whoa. Okay. It seems like I've done so many cards, but I think what it is I didn't put gems on all of the ones I had already previously done. And sometimes I find myself, oh, I don't want to use those gems, I'll run out. Duh. That's what they're for. Okay, is that it? Yep, I think so. Why do I have an extra card base? I don't get it. Did I not make 4 cards? Okay, let's just get these here. There's 2 hello there's. Oh, I know. I forgot to put this one on here. Stampin' Seal. You can also use liquid glue. Okay. So now, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then for the envelopes, what I did is I just stamped that same little stem that I used on the inside. I stamped those in the lower right corner to have 4 coordinating envelopes. Okay. All righty. Well, I hope you can use this idea for the upcoming gift giving season. Handmade cards and cards that people can send are always so much appreciated. So use your talents and your creativity and share. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Look for more information on Eden's Garden coming up next Tuesday when it's available. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. And let's see if I can see you again soon. Take care, everyone. Have a great evening. Good night.